Running a home service business is hard. So how is it that some people make it look so easy? Well, we'll tell you. This is the Freedom Blueprint Podcast. It's always good to hear the wins that successful contractors have. But have you ever thought that the best advice would be to hear about the speed bumps they encountered, the mistakes they've made along the way? We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. We want you to be successful and avoid the mistakes others have made. Let's get this party started. Welcome to the Freedom Blueprint Podcast. Now your host, Justin Deese.
Welcome back to another episode of Freedom Blueprint Podcast. I'm your host, Justin Deese, and we are hanging out today with Billy Gregus from Integrity down in beautiful, hot Central Florida. What's up, man?
How you doing? Good to be here.
So, if you're listening to this, you can't see this, but if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see that we're together. You're at the studio. Billy came and hung out with us yesterday. We did a shop tour at Paradise, and he got to hang out with the team. And then today he was like, let's venture up to the farm and see the studio. So we've been kind of hanging out today. And once we get done, so this is becoming a little bit of a tradition when people come to the studio and do recording. We usually end up leaving here and doing lunch at the Pig, which is, for any of you that don't know, that is Piggly Wiggly, which is an old school grocery store. Fun fact, Piggly Wiggly was the very first grocery store where it was self-service, where you went in and picked your own groceries.
I didn't know that.
Yep. See, you don't hang out at Piggly Wiggly enough.
No, we don't have any where we're at.
We, ironically, up here by the farm, we have one that was just built a couple years ago. So most people's response to Piggly Wiggly is like, they still make those? It's a new one, and it's really cool, and it's awesome. And so that's kind of becoming part of our tradition for anybody that comes here. We go stuff our faces on that long, amazing buffet line.
I'm excited to experience it.
Cool. So tell us a little bit about really kind of your journey. Like, how did you even end up in the HVAC business?
I ended up, I initially started working with a real good friend of mine. He had he just started an HVAC business and he needed help. So I started doing installs with him and experienced that side of it. And really, I was fascinated by how the whole thing worked. How can you take a box that makes constant cold, you don't have to refill it, etc. was kind of my fascination with it. And that kind of sparked my interest. And then I went to work for a company called Givaudan, and I was the maintenance department. And they did not have a maintenance technician that could work on any of the AC equipment or the refrigeration equipment. And I became a lead, and one of my goals was to completely learn in and out so we didn't have to hire a third party to be able to, basically I could work on the things that we have there. So I started doing schooling for years and years, went to train, did online, got my certification, basically all the steps to be able to fully understand refrigeration and AC, which are completely two different things in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Refrigeration is much more advanced. So started working on it. And within a year, I was able to eliminate all third-party contractors, and I was working on all the refrigeration equipment. So then obviously I started doing it on the side, for family, friends.
Yeah.
I didn't have my license at the time. So I was like, man, I really want to do this a legit way and work towards getting my license, and got my license. And just a couple of years later, I ended up branching out. It made more sense to start my own business than continue working with the company. But that company was absolutely great. It gave me the foundations and the guidance to where I am today for sure.
That's awesome. So how old were you when you started in the trades, when you started doing the installs?
It was, I started, I would say about 25.
Okay.
About 25 years old.
So then you were the maintenance guy, and you now as a business owner would not like you as a maintenance person.
No. No.
You're like, don't be fixing everything. Just call me. I'll come fix it. That's the
Absolutely. Now it's like, oh, don't worry about it. That's my profession. I'll take care of it.
So, and you're right. So refrigeration is a different animal. I would agree with that. And that's from my vast
Expertise.
limited knowledge. But more and more companies are not doing refrigeration. So there's obviously a demand for that. And being where you are in Central Florida, what are the majority of companies that use refrigeration? Like when I think refrigeration, I think restaurants. Like and obviously we're here on the Gulf Coast, so we have a ton of restaurants. But what are some other example of companies that you do refrigeration for?
Yeah, there's in my area there's not much. It is a specialty skill, I like to say. Either it's too advanced and they don't have the people that can work on it, or they don't like being on call 24/7, having the emergency demands. Because when refrigeration breaks down, usually it's a freezer's down. Hey, we're going to lose $20,000 products. There's a lot different conversation than, hey, I'm hot.
Yeah.
So, and it's very profitable if you do it properly. They want to get their stuff up working. They want you to rush. They want you to get over there as fast as possible. So it's very profitable and not too much competition. People don't want to deal with it. For me, it fascinates me because in the beginning, before I actually mastered refrigeration, I was doing just HVAC. And after a certain amount of time, you only run into so many problems. Or it's a float switch, it's a capacitor, it's a dirty coil.
Yeah.
So I'm somebody that always likes to be challenged. So refrigeration, it doesn't matter if you know how to work on a chiller. Every single chiller you go to is going to be different setup. It's going to be doing a different purpose. It's going to have different components that you need to work on. So that's what really, excites me is that you have to constantly scratch your head. There's never like you just walk up and go, it's this.
So with that, are you guys running? So I'm assuming you guys run 24/7.
We do, when needed.
Right.
That's also very hard on my technicians.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very culture driven, to where Monday through Friday we try not to do any after hours calls after 5:00, because one thing that I didn't want was my guys to get off. They're eating dinner with their family. It's 7:00 and all of a sudden they just worked all day, but now they have to break off to take care of a customer.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to lose good employees.
I 100% agree with that. Yes.
And so do we do it? Yes. But we are very selective on the customers that we do it for. And it's really just geared towards, I don't want to beat my guys up. I have a great crew, I have a great team, and I would rather them be in a better mental state than to just be there for the customers as fast as possible. So it can usually always wait. And we do workarounds, but it's mainly to make sure my guys are being taken care of.
I can remember, and this has been probably 10, maybe 12 years ago, maybe even 15 years ago, being in like meetings / conferences and people talking about 24/7. And I remember saying, we don't do 24/7. And people were like, you can't be in the plumbing industry and not do 24/7. I'm like, if I'm not going to go out at 2:00 in the morning, there's no way I'm going to ask somebody else to do it. And quite frankly, I don't think you're going to bond that customer that long. Now, I know there's people that are listening to this. They're going to be like, you're an idiot. You have no idea what you're talking about. That's fine. This is my journey and my story. Culture has always been important. And the same as what you just said, like I always think about, and I interview people that have, that work for those big companies that do 24/7. And it's weird because you're like, oh, I ran a call till 4 and then I got a call at 7 in the morning. Like, how can you mentally be prepared to handle that? I don't know. We've never done it. And it's for just that reason that I'm not doing it. So
yeah,
from a leadership standpoint, it's hard to say, you go do this, do as I say, not as I do kind of thing.
Yeah. And that's how I guide a lot of my decisions is I sit back and go, would I want to do that?
Right.
Like for instance, I rotate calls with my guys because I want to show them that I'm there for them. I'm not asking them to do anything that I'm not willing to do.
Yep. In the trenches leadership. I like it. Like, come on, let's go get in the trenches. Let's go dig a hole.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're all family friends and, we keep a good bond. And they have a healthy family life, which is very important
Good.
to me. Because again, as I'm growing older, that's important to me to spend time with the family. Not it used to be working 78 hours a week, but that journey is coming to an end, and I value my guys having mental clarity, having family time, because then that helps them produce at 100% when they are at work.
Well, and that's, you hear the conversations all the time about no good people, nobody wants to work, the story that we let ourselves believe. And I truly think that it's not that as much as the generation now, they just have more options now. So now I think the difference is they have way more options than we did, the generations before. So if they don't like something, they can get on DoorDash, they can get on Uber Eats, they can be an Uber driver. We have this whole gig economy that was not a thing 10 years ago. That wasn't even a thing. So that's definitely part of what you're competing with now when you're having good people on the team. Is there is the balance where it used to be when you worked for a company, that's where you worked. And when you were told to do something, you just did it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's kind of the generation before. That's if you didn't like it, you might start looking for another job, but you certainly did not leave that job until you had another job. I think the gig economy has kind of changed that because now they're like, you know what, I'm out. And by the time they hit the parking lot, they're already on some app and they've got some gig lined up.
The grass is always greener on the other side, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, a good friend of mine, we were talking about this topic the other day, and he said, or you just water your own grass.
True.
And then look at how it grows.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me a little bit about the service area that you guys have. I know you're kind of in between Tampa and Orlando, right?
Yes, sir.
So, do you service either of those, or do you just kind of have a pocket in the middle?
We're trying to, I don't like going to Orlando. We don't like going all the way to Tampa.
Yeah.
There's plenty of competition out there that we're not needed. We're really trying to be a local community.
Good.
Make an effect. We stay within our county, I like to say.
Okay.
And we have plenty of business there. So the way I look at it, again, why am I going to beat my guys up and drive an hour and a half? We serve our customers. We serve in our county. And we do it for a select few customers.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have a dermatology office that has 13 locations, and some are in Sebring, some are, further away, 2 hours away. But besides that, we will not. Usually it's just Polk County, which is the county that we live in. And then mainly the city that we're in, which is Winter Haven. We love Winter Haven. And we try to do as much as we can in Winter Haven and stay in that area. But we will travel around the county.
Well, and there's something to be said for just focusing and dominating your market, right? Just dominate your backyard before you move into the next backyard.
Right.
Own the zip code before you start to own the very next zip code. So I think that's a good strategy. When did you kick off Integrity?
So started the company in 2015, me and my wife. I was working for that company.
Mm-hmm.
So I was still working, 40, 50 hours and then doing it on the side. It wasn't until about 2017 that I went ahead and, what do they say, take the entrepreneurial leap?
Make the leap.
So, and I kind of did it safely, I had those 2-year buffer where I could, save and market and wait till I got enough customers to do the jump. But
yeah,
I did the jump, and it's been a journey, a lot of work, a lot of overtime, but I'm getting to the stage now where I'm leading and I have a great team around me. I can start backing off a little bit, and it feels nice, starting to get the freedom side of it, the spending time with the family, the things that I start to understand what success is spending time with family. It's not hitting a certain amount of revenue or hitting a certain percentage. So I'm in a good point in my life, but I am always that type that wants to push it and push the limits.
That's the entrepreneur, man. That just doesn't go away.
Yeah.
People are like, when's enough? You're like, I'll let you know.
Right. I'll embrace it.
We're just not there yet. So I will say, if any of your team listens to this podcast, I will say you, over the last 2 days that we've spent together, you have talked so highly of your team and the culture and the things they do. So for anybody on the team, if they're listening, just know he's saying such good things about you guys as a team.
And they know it. I tell them, I show my appreciation, and
But now you're saying it when they're not looking, and you weren't expecting me to say it either.
True.
So now they're getting it, even though you say it. Now they're like, oh, okay, wait a minute, he's not here, and still has good things to say about us. So
I'm blessed.
Yeah, it's man, it is a different world when you're working around a team of people that you like. I know for us at Paradise, that's been a big journey for us. Was our culture was so important from the very, very beginning, and even now, like we have such an amazing culture, such great team, and it just makes it way more fun.
Yeah, why not? When I was younger, I'd do you hit snooze 5 times. Is it Friday yet? Kind of saying.
Oh yeah.
And I try to make it as fun as possible. At the end of the day, we work hard. We've got to be able to make money for the business. We've got to pay bills. But it doesn't mean we can't enjoy each other's companies. It doesn't mean that we can't have a bond. It doesn't. I mean, that all those things make it better, in my opinion, to where you're going into work. Time passes by so quick when I'm at work, and it's because I enjoy what I do and I work with people that I truly love.
Well, and think about going to a business, especially one that you own, and you're like, oh, I got to go in there today. And I know for some people listening, they're like, there's days that's me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, you are the leader of that organization. You are the leader of that culture. If that is how you feel, imagine how your team feels. Man, that is not good. So fix that.
Absolutely.
Fix that immediately. So what are some plans for the future? And I'm not talking big stuff, but are you planning to grow into other markets? Are you planning to, what does that look like?
The older I get, the more I look at success as, like I said, with family, spending time with family, enjoying the company, the people that I work for, making sure that they're, have a good life. And that's really what I've really tapped into and am finding interesting. And, my main goal isn't revenue, isn't I want my company this size. It's having a good time, making money with people, taking care of customers. At the end of the day, taking care of customers, making money is just the byproduct.
100%.
So I'm never looking for money. I'm looking for ways to be able to serve our customers and to give my guys a good option to come to work to where they don't have to hit the snooze button. And long term, it changes on a yearly basis. I noticed when I look back a year ago, I had a little bit different goals.
Yeah.
So mentioned already, planning's not my strong point, although I'm going to fix that. I really like the direction we're going now. I want to continue this pace and see how it evolves. We're the best HVAC refrigeration business in our area. So that's absolutely a great accomplishment.
Yep.
Team culture strong. We just got some new wrap vehicles to serve our customers better. We just got some good accounts that are solid that we can depend on, so I can continue growing the business. But efficiency, and just building a team that knows that we're accomplishing great things every single day. Right now, that's my goal. Maybe it'll change. I don't see it deviating too far off of that, but it's not a revenue goal. It's not a pound my chest or anything like that. It's just enjoying the moment, which I'm doing right now with the team that I have.
So if you think about it, you started in 2015 unofficially, but that means you're at 10 years right now.
True.
So if you think back now and you were talking to Billy 2015, what advice would you give Billy 2015?
I would probably say, don't work so hard. I had in my mind, I'm a man, so I should be working 80 hours. That's taking care of, the family.
Right.
And I was working a lot. I was getting a lot done. But I missed some moments with my daughter, while she was growing up. She's 13. And I would say enjoy the moments, because we now have Sebastian. He's 2.5 years old. I understand those moments and how important they are, and I'm recognizing them. And although I could be doing something, at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, I could be working, I could be sending emails. I'm really indulging and taking in the moment. And that's what I would tell myself is success doesn't mean that you're away from your family. You're making money.
Right.
That means that you're taking care of your family. No, being with your family is taking care of your family.
Right. No, I think that's a great piece of advice. And I know, and I've talked about this on the podcast too, but when my kids were small, and they're about 18 months apart. So they were, 18 months apart. So they're very close in age, and they're very close together. But there was a lot the first probably 5 years of their life where I missed a lot of stuff, man. And it was, and it's easy to tell yourself like, oh, I'm missing it because of the family. Like
I'm doing the right thing.
Right. I'm doing it to support them, or I'm doing it to, and as I think back about on it now, like I regret missing the memories. I couldn't even tell you what thing I had to do, because I'm sure it was a fire that I probably could have prevented from starting in the first place. But no, I think that's a really good piece of advice. What book? Let's talk book. What's a book that you would tell yourself to read, or a book that you've read recently?
Dan Martell, Buy Back Your Time. That is a great book, and it really highlights, possibly making adjustments to where, okay, you want to mow your yard. That's fine, right? How much time is that taking from you? And what does that break down to hourly? And are you okay with paying yourself that, if that's the case? So, especially with the busy, hectic life, wanting to spend time with family, the business is still busy, and we have to take care of our customers. So I still have to put in time in that. But just understanding, finding strategic ways to recognize that I don't have to do it to save a little bit of money. If I do it myself, then I'll save $100 a month. Well, how about you take that time and do what you're actually good at and make $1,000?
Right.
And that really opened my eyes to some of the possibilities. Absolutely, probably one of my top 5 books, Dan Martell, Buy Back Your Time. I really enjoyed that book.
So in the last probably 4 to 6 weeks, I think I have been recommended that book 10 times.
Have you read it?
I have not.
You have to read it.
So what's interesting is I've been all about books for so many years. Like my Audible's just covered up in books that I've read, and I love books. But I have spent a lot of time on podcasts in the last probably 12 months, just because it's that shorter type. But I'm going to put that in my list today.
Are you an audiobook or a reader?
No, I'm an Audible guy.
I'm a reader.
Are you really?
I am.
I'm not, man. I can't. I try. So like even in here, if you notice, I'm, well, you can see it. No one else can see it. But right outside the studio, I have my treadmill, and I have a monitor there, and that's usually earbuds. And I'm either listening to a podcast, listening to a book, or I'm taking notes while I'm on the treadmill.
Nice.
So, but no, I'm gonna definitely have to, because it has been recommended over and over again. So.
Yep, that's a great book. And I'm a reader because I've got ADHD, and that helps me focus. And it really puts me in a meditative state, I realize. I've tried the audiobook, but my mind wanders while I'm listening to it. And all of a sudden, I went through a whole chapter, and I couldn't tell you one word that they said.
Thing?
Exactly.
But see, okay, so I feel like I can't read the book because I can't focus on it.
My wife is like that.
I'm like, but my wife can read a book, but not listen to Audible. So
yep.
There you go. Yeah. So as we kind of wrap up here, what are some tidbits that you would like to leave the listeners with?
Well, if I was to give anything, it's, again, I'm on a journey where spending time with family, culture is important to me. I'm enjoying the process. Be present. That's a great, a great tip. For the longest, you're always thinking about what are you going to do, or what do you need to do, or I wish I didn't make this mistake. I wish I didn't make that one. And you never stop in the present and think, enjoy the things that you have, because if you're always looking in the future, you're always looking in the past, you're never enjoying the present. Time goes really fast when you do that. And I wish it didn't take me as long to kind of recognize that, so I'm having a blast.
Yeah.
I get to hang out with cool people like you. You gave me your blessing to come and check you out, and I'm so glad you did. I met your team. Great bunch of people. Got some great ideas, tips. I'm sure we'll communicate more in the future.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's just a great experience. So be present is a really good tidbit. And for contractors, I mean, I guess it depends on what your goal is. It's mine right now is quality, efficiency, culture, systems, processes, motivation, leadership. I'm becoming a really good leader. And I'm navigating from the technical side to the leadership side, and I'm loving it, because I'm changing people's lives that way. So that might be my new passion driving forward is I really enjoy helping people. I like helping customers. But just in a really good point in my life.
Good. Well, that's awesome, man. Well, appreciate you coming and hanging out, not only checking out Paradise yesterday, but hanging out at the farm, where we had chickens at one point that were going crazy in the background. I didn't hear any during the recording of this, but earlier today when we were hanging out, they were all over the place. So many chickens. Well, cool, man. Appreciate it hanging out. We're about to go hit the pig. And for everybody listening, thanks for coming. And
you've been listening to the Freedom Blueprint Podcast. Information is useless if not applied. So take what you've learned and go and implement it. We hope you've enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon. But in the meantime, find us on social media at Freedom Blueprint for Home Services and hit the website at www.freedomblueprintpodcast.com. See you next time.